Okay, so we wait for a couple of minutes that more of the candidates join in. Okay, um, yes, there is a question in the chat box. I will not answer the questions at this moment. Later on, at the end of the session, Awais Sajjad is asking what we have to do, sir. Awais, you don't need to do anything. You just keep looking at the screen and keep listening carefully, okay? We have sent the candidates out of this room in the waiting area, those who did not change their profile name, and their profile name is of their mobile name, like Oppo Reno 6. Okay, so those who will change, and then they will be allowed inside. Okay, so I hope that they can hear. Okay, in the meantime, we can start our class. Welcome to IELTS Complementary Class, paper and computer based. So this class is arranged by AO, AO Pakistan, for as a complement for those students who registered with AO for the IELTS exam. In upcoming exam, maybe in a few days time or in a week time from now. This will give a good and comprehensive preview over the 4 modules that you are going to attempt. This will tell you some tips and tricks, some know-how, some do's and don'ts, and how to increase your chances in getting good score in the IELTS exam. So this session duration is 60 minutes, including 20 minutes for the question. At the end of the slideshow, there will be ample amount of time. We'll try our best to answer your questions, as many as possible. Even after the session, if you still have some questions in your mind, you can send those questions to the email displayed at the screen, ielts@aeo.com.pk, or you can call our center, Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, Multan or Peshawar, and you can get the chance to talk to the IELTS trainer directly if you need to know something about IELTS exam or module or anything, or if you need to know about something about exam, our people at the reception, they can provide you very good up-to-date information. So let's start. Let's move on. Okay. So first of all, we should know that how IELTS on computer is different from the paper-based IELTS. Well, there is no difference at all. The exams are the same, except that you do it on the computer and the paper-based you do it on the paper. The content, the question types, timings and marking, everything is the same. Okay, the only difference is that you do it on the computer, the paper-based you do it on the paper. So why take IELTS on computer? What are the advantages? The biggest advantage is the result is very quick. Within 3 days you get the result. While in the paper-based, you get the result at least after 13 days. And the availability is more. The paper-based exam is 2 to 3 times a month available maximum, and only once on that day. While the computer-based, you can do it any day of the week, 7 days a week, and 2 times every day, morning and afternoon. So you can see that how big is the difference. So keep it in mind while selecting which one you want to do. But definitely, to do it on computer, you need to be uh, good at computer, keyboard, looking at screen, using mouse, dragging, copy, paste, underlining, highlighting. Okay, so you should be familiar how to type on the computer, on the keyboard. Okay, let's share some tips about listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And as it happens in the main exam, the listening is first. So we look at listening first. The listening test is the same for both IELTS academic test and IELTS general training test. You will need to answer 40 questions, sometime maybe 42, 44, okay, in response to 4 recordings. In listening, there will be 4 recordings will be played and you have to answer 40 questions. You will have 10 minutes for transferring your answer on the answer sheet in the paper base. So the 4 recordings will take half an hour to play. So the maximum time of listening is half an hour, 28 minutes, 31 minutes, something like that, not more than that. And in listening, there are different types of questions, as you can see on the screen, that there are different types. We will look at these questions briefly one by one. I'm sorry to say that there is no recording facility available for this session. So what you can do, you can take the screenshots or you can save the screen or whatever way you can for to look at these slides later on. Okay, let's move on. Before we go to the types of questions, we should have a little overview that what type of recordings will be in the listening. In recording 1, you will hear a conversation between 2 people set in an everyday social context. And recording 2 will be a monologue set in its everyday social context. For example, a speech about local facility. Okay, Warda Umar, you can ask this question in the question answer. We value your questions, okay? Well, I can quickly answer your question here. Most of the students, 99% students are the first timers who have very little or no information about IELTS. Okay, so this slideshow is prepared after a very hard work after getting into contact with students and teachers, that what are the most basic information that the newcomers need. Okay, so this is why it is for those, mainly for those students, okay, who are the first timers. You have appeared maybe before, so you can wait and you can ask questions in the question answer time. We will try our best to answer your questions, okay? And I hope you will understand that in 1 hour, uh, no detailed, no detail can be given. Okay, that then it will be like a normal, I mean normal extended class, which is possible in 2 hours class on one subject only, on one module only, and in this 1 hour we try to cover 4 modules. I hope you understand. I will wait for your questions by the end of this session of this slideshow. Okay, so if you hear what I said, you can write something in the comment box that you heard me. Okay, now we move on to our recording 3. A conversation will between up to 4 people set in an educational or training context. For example, a university tutor and a student discussing an assignment. And recording 4 will be a monologue. Monologue mean a long, speech. It can be a lecture by a university's teacher to a group of students. Okay, let's look at the questions one by one, at what type and what is asked in those questions. Of course, the question itself tells that there will be multiple choice, more than one choices. So there can be 4 choices and you have to choose one correct, and there can be 5 and you have to choose 2, and there can be more than 5 and you have to choose more than 3 correct ones. Okay, or there can be form, note, table or flow chart and summary completion. Very simple. There can be an empty note on the question paper and you have to listen carefully and fill in the blanks over there. Muhammad Nabil, I will answer your question in the question answer time. Okay, it will be in next 30 minutes. We try our best to cover a large number of students who actually are in great need, So this is, I think, very logical. And you can ask questions. The question answer time. I will try my best. Okay. Matching. And in this type, you are required to match a number of lists of items from what you hear in the listening audio to set of options on the question paper. And there can be plan, map or diagram labeling. There can be a map, for example, of a garden or a park, and different areas are labeled as A, B, C or whatever. And you have to listen and label those, that area A is what, area B is what. Of course, you have to do quite extensive listening practice, and if you do that, then all of these questions will appear as you are playing a game. In the short answer questions, you are required to read a question and then write a short answer. Okay, not more than 2 words or a number. So you have to read these instructions. What you have to do, what you are asked to do: 3 words, maximum 2 words, or a number and a word. A number is like you write in 1, 2, 3, and a word you can write like in letters. Okay, for example, when was Pakistan came into being? If you have to write the date and the month, so you will write 14 August. August with the capital A. 14 is the number, August is the word. Okay. Okay, some tips about listening. You need to understand the situation, what you are going to hear. Every recording, there will be 4 recording. Every recording, before every recording, you will hear something in the recording, that who is going to talk about what and how many people will be there. So if you listen to it carefully, then you can set your mind that, there will be one person talking, so it can be a long speech, or there can be 3 or 4 people talking, so it will be different people talking in different speed and different tone. So you have to be alert for that. So this will increase your understanding. And watch out for the word indicators. Whenever the characters are saying something and when they utter these words, however, but, then, finally, and there are some other words as well, which actually turn the situation, which actually change the situation. Okay. So you have to listen to these words, and most of the time the answer is given right after them. And this works. This really works. You don't write answers too quickly, because this trap is created on purpose to check your alertness, to check your readiness. As you can see in the example, Sam, thank you, I have received your email. It's Lauren Hansen at gmail.com. Lauren, no, you have mistaken. It is Lauren Hampson, gmail.com, spelled with M. Sam, oh, I'm sorry. So in order to avoid this confusion, wait until the character speaks completely. Okay, let's move on to reading, academic and general. Listening is the same as I earlier mentioned in academic and general, but reading and writing is different. So we will look at that, how and what is the difference. And we will share some do's and don'ts in reading. So there are two different readings, general reading and academic reading. In both of them there will be 3 sections. But in general reading, the first 2 sections are generally easy, and the third section is almost the same as challenging as academic reading. So the first 2 in section 1 contains 2 or 3 short factual texts, one of which may be composite. Composite mean like a set of shorter parts, you can say, consisting of 6 to 8 short texts related by topic, for example, hotel advertisement. In section 2 contains 2 short factual texts in focusing on work-related issues. For example, you are applying for a job and the workplace facilities and staff development, something like that. And section 3 contains one longer, more complex text on a topic of general interest. You will be reading real passages taken from notices. Yeah, that should be remembered, that these passages are not fictional. They are written as facts. Okay, they are facts, and they are taken from newspapers, journals, magazines, books. And in academic reading, there will be 3 sections, and all 3 sections will be longer and more challenging. Okay, relating to different topics. So you need to, when you need to read them carefully and answer the questions one by one. So similar to the listening, there will be different question types in reading too. We will look at them briefly one by one. Okay, first of all, multiple choice. You have to choose the best answer from 4 alternatives, or best 2 answers from 5 alternatives, or the best 3 answers from 7 alternatives. in identifying information, there will be a statement, set of statement, and you have to look at them and write whether the statement is true or false or is not given. And you will come to know about this by reading the text carefully and then match what is written in the text, in the statement. Okay, if the information is the same as given in the text, then this statement is true. If the information is there but it tells something the opposite, then it's false. Or if it takes you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds and you can't decide or can't find it, then most probably it's not given. There can be matching information. In this question type, you have to locate specific information within the lettered paragraphs. Okay, so you have to match the information and um, find a match with the paragraph, that this information is taken from which paragraph. Or there can be matching headings. There can be set of headings. For example, there are 6 paragraphs and there are 6 headings. So you have to attach or match that heading with the paragraph. And what is that and how you do it? Well, actually, those headings are the main ideas of the paragraph. You have to read the paragraph carefully and match the keywords in the headings and in the paragraph, and you will be able to decide that this heading belongs to this paragraph. There can be identifying information, something that I already told you as true, false, or not given, or they can be sentence ending matching. You are given the first half of a sentence based on the reading text and asked to choose the best way to complete it from a list of options. First half will be written as a group and the second half will be written as a group. So you have to choose and match the ending with the first half. And of course, all these questions actually depend upon a good reading. If your vocabulary is weak, if you do not read much, then this will be challenging. This will create challenge. So the basic idea of getting good grades in reading is that you should read more. That's it. And good bands in listening come with good listening before time, prepare well. Good writing bands depend upon the good writing before the exam. Lot of writing, get it checked by an examiner, and do not repeat your mistakes. That's it. This is the this is the shortcut to success. The shortcut to success is that there is no shortcut. Okay, watch your time. Don't forget you have only 60 minutes to read all 3 texts and answer 40 questions. You won't get any additional time for filling your answer sheet. So make sure you manage everything within the given time and properly. Okay, yeah. How to read within time easily and answer all 40 questions. Well, you have to skim and scan because you cannot read. Keep this in mind. You have done enough practice at home, and by this time you have already realized that everything cannot be read and everything is not worth reading. When you look at the reading passage, you skim and scan. You move your finger over the line and keep reading and underline important words, important phrases, dates, number, address, something written in capital or italics or in bold. You need to underline those areas that catches your eye, and the answers are hidden under those words, not under ordinary words. Okay, I have already explained true, false, and not given. Okay, let's finalize the listening and reading. You should remember that listening will be played only once. There is no repeating the answer or the question. Of course, there is no question answer. It's a general reading that goes on. You have to extract the answer from there. And you will be allowed to use only soft pencil, no pens. And you should keep the answers in an order. Okay, answers will questions and answer will be in an order. They will not be one after the mixed. For example, answer to question number 4 will be after answer question number 3, and so on. You can write the answers on the answer sheet in the capital or lower letter. And always read the question instructions, whether you have to write 2 words or 1 word and a number, and your spelling should be correct, because the spelling mistakes at this time are not tolerated. And you check for minor mistakes of punctuation, any dot missing, and any comma missing, any capital letter is missing, dot over I is missing, something like that, which can create a doubt in your mind that you got some mistakes. And improve your general listening skills. You don't need to only listen to the previous Cambridge exams. You need to listen to different types of listening, and thanks to the social media these days, you have a lot of material that's available. And vocabulary, topic vocabulary, especially vocabulary related to education, you need to develop a lot, and you should know the meaning. It's very important. This will help you in listening, in reading, in writing, and in speaking. And don't lose attention. And while you are listening or reading, you should keep your mind focused. And this is how the answering sheets look like for listening and reading. Here is showing different colors, but usually now they are not in color. They are in dark gray or light gray, or it's also mentioned over there. So make sure that you do not uh, mix them up. Your reading answers should go on the reading sheet, but definitely they will be given separate. Okay, so there is no chance that it will be mixed up. But in order to repeat, when you get the answer sheet, make sure you look at that by mistake, okay, usually it doesn't happen, that by mistake you are given listening answer sheet for the reading, or the reading answer sheet for the listening. So you should have a look and make sure it's the same answer sheet. Okay, let's move on to our third module, writing, and share some tips, techniques, know-how, and some do's and don'ts. Okay, Brar Sheikh, I will do that. Let me finish it, please. I will do that. Okay, remind me in the question answer section, question answer time. I will repeat that first. Okay, thank you. Okay, our writing test format is of 60 minutes. You are handed over both the tasks together. It's up to you which task you do first. You do task 1 first or task 2 first, or how much time you spend on task 1 and task 2. So generally 60 minutes, so we divide it 20 minutes for task 1 and 40 minutes for task 2. Some students do task 2 before, so it's up to you which way you feel comfortable. There is no set rule. Okay. In arts academic, task 1 You are presented with a graph, table, chart, or diagram, and you are asked to summarize and report information in your own words. So there will be a bar graph or chart or diagram, and you have to look at it and write that what is shown over there. And in task 1, general, you have to write a letter. A letter that can be, any formal letter, semi-formal, or informal. Okay. But you have to read it, that what you have to do. Okay, reading instructions is as important as doing the question. And task 2 in academic and general is almost the same. There is no much difference. Okay, you have to write an essay of 250 words minimum, and maximum I will say don't write more than 280 words on a given topic. For example, what is better, railways or roads? Which way, where should the government spend more funds? Which carries more advantages? So you have to write on topics like these, or about the environmental pollution. Okay, and you have to write at least 250 words for task 2, and at least one. The Shafaq, I will try my best to share the whole presentation, which will not be possible, but I will try to share the important parts. Okay, so please stay with us. Okay, now before you start to write about task 1 or task 2, understand the situation, understand the question what you are being asked. Especially in task 2, you need to understand the question, and only then you plan your answer. You will be given, you will have enough time to prepare for the answer on a blank sheet. Number of words in task 2 is 250. Okay, I get back to my presentation. Plan your answer, write 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and start with the best of the point that you know much better, and start with that. And when you start writing, we are talking about task 2 here. When you start writing, you write an introduction. Introduction is a must. Do not start writing the straight away. Okay, start by introduction, short, 3, 4 lines, and separate it with the new paragraph. Do not start a whole paragraph. So write that what is the topic and what you are going to write. And then write the body paragraphs. The body paragraphs can be 2 or 3 or 4 or maximum 5, depending upon the points that you have. Okay, you can write each point in different paragraph, or you can write 2 points in one paragraph. That's okay. And then the conclusion. Conclusion should be also of the same size of introduction, maximum 30 words, 40 words, in which you summarize the whole thing. You do not say anything new. Now, many students ask, what is the writing format for task 2? Well, as I have just said, I'm repeating, there are 3 main parts: introduction and the conclusion. And in the middle is the main part of the essay, in which you explain the question of your choice. Okay, which side you think you are. For example, in writing about railways, you will choose railways or roads. Which one is better? So you will write, if you say railways are better, then you will write the advantages of railways more. Okay, so that you will do it in the body paragraph. So what's the structure? How does it look like? Well, this is how it looks like. Introduction. Okay. This is how it should look like, and I wrote this, found this, made some changes in this essay. It's about sedentary lifestyle. Okay, so introduction, you can see 2.5 lines maximum, and then the body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, body paragraph 4. In each paragraph there's a different point explained. Okay, and then conclusion, wrapping up whatever you have said. You just wrap it up. You do not say anything new over there. Saad Wakas, please, I will answer your question for sure in next few minutes. Okay, please repeat the question. So you can see it's 268 words. Very, very good and very good range. Above 250, but less than 280 or 70. That's the wonderful range. You should not write more than that. It's a waste of time. Okay, now how to make your writing better? Everyone knows how to write, but if grade 7 writing, grade 10 writing, grade 12 writing, and a university graduate writing, all are different. So what are the expectations at your level? You must have done minimum intermediate or more than that. I mean, there are doctors and who have done MPhil and graduates and BS. So different students have different levels and different expectations. So you have to improve your writing. All of you have to improve your writing. Okay. And how to improve writing? There are many ways. Okay. Even one whole hour is not enough to explain what you should do in writing. So we have got few minutes. So the chosen ones are that improve your writing by choosing the words, especially the adverbs. These are very crucial. You can see on the left, they are the ones that are commonly used. And commonly used are also of very common importance. Okay, but when you write in the exam, you use better and more important words. So you can see on the right are the recommended ones. And same is the case. By the way, you need to search on Google and create a list of formally used adverbs and use them in your writing. The same way you have to search for formally used nouns, create a list and use them. Okay, I hope that you are, if you are not capturing the screen, you must be writing down these points. Believe me, if you follow just G's very and definitely, I mean, it will raise your chances to get better bands. And adjectives. Adjectives are such a wonderful tool in your hand. You can increase the charm in your writing with adjectives. So search and create a list of formally used adjectives and use them in your practice. I'm sorry about this hammering sound at the background. Is it disturbing you? Is this too loud? We can't do anything. I'm sorry. Or is it me who is hearing? Are you hearing the hammering sound? Okay, that's good. Wonderful. That's wonderful that it's not audible at all. Okay, maybe my hearing senses are very sensitive. I can hear it. Okay. And also do not write the contractions, write the full words. Although they are the words on the left in nouns, what to say, adjectives and nouns and adverbs, the words frequently used, they are not wrong. I mean, don't consider them wrong. They are right. They are grammatically, they are fine, but they are not recommended for formal writing. Yeah, Brar Sheikh, I think this mic is wonderful. It's filtering. Okay, our last but not the least module, speaking. Wonderful picture I selected that both the speaker and the examiner both are smiling. It's as if their two friends are sitting. Wonderful. And this is how it should be. If you smile, the examiner will definitely smile back. Okay, so do not try to be a very serious face when you enter. So keep smiling throughout. Okay. And let's know about different parts. In part 1 will be 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner will ask you about work, family, home life, personal interest. It's a good question. Yes, I mean, of course, you will have to keep your mask on, but I think the eyes also can show that you are smiling, or even you can create a little bit of light laughter that the examiner can hear. Yeah, it's sad that we have to wear masks and we cannot show our smile. Okay, part 2 will be you will be given a cue card, a topic card, and you will have to prepare for 1 minute and then speak for non-stop 1 minute 30 seconds or maximum 2 minutes. And in part 3 there will be conversation. More questions will be asked by the examiner related to part 2 or indirectly related to that topic. Okay, yes. Some tips. Do not memorize the answers. Speak naturally. Whatever you have to do, you can do in your practice, in your preparation. On the exam day, just do what you have practiced and do not try to put pressure on yourself that you should use some very heavy and difficult words. No. Use the familiar words that you know. Do not use any unfamiliar words. Okay? Speak naturally. And you should be fluent. You should have good vocabulary. Grammatically, you should be correct. And you should have good pronunciation. Do not worry about try to talk like a New Yorker or a Londoner. No way. You should speak correct English in an ordinary Pakistani way. Don't need to speak like the first language speakers. And yes, sometimes the examiner can ask you some question that can be difficult, so you can get stuck for a second and don't be quiet suddenly. And do not use fillers like, you know, well, don't. Say a complete sentence, like you can choose one of them or you can create one of your own. For example, if an examiner asks you a difficult question, you can say, I've never thought about that, sir or ma'am, but give me a few seconds, I will try to give you a good reply. Or you can say, that's a difficult question. You can even have a little smile. That's a difficult question, but I'll try and answer it. Well, some people say that's the case. However, I think the other way. Okay? So keep talking, keep talking. Never be quiet. Keep talking. That is the major what's a requirement of speaking. Keep talking until seconds to finish your thought or finish your sentence. Do not abruptly stop. If the examiner says stop, you are in the middle of the sentence, do not stop. Complete the sentence and then say thank you. Okay. Yes. Start with speaking test with smile and end with the smile. It helps. Believe me, it will change the whole situation sometime. And when you are practicing, practice tourism and travel, education, transport, and on these common topics. That's the end of our session. Just have a few tips about the test day. Arrive 10 to 15 minutes earlier. Deposit your mobile phones, watches, electronic devices in the lockers and bring the same ID that you registered with. And when it's time to check your result, log on to aio.com.pk, or you can call one of our offices. The numbers are displayed: Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, Multan and Peshawar. And join our classes at AO Pakistan. All centers are offering preparatory classes on campus and online, and increase your chances of getting wonderful grades in your IELTS exam. That brings us to the end, and now questions please. Yes, okay. I will take Muhammad Ashfaq's question. Sir, is it necessary to speak in English accent? No way, no way. Okay, speak just like any other Pakistani speaks. Okay, well, you can say that the way I'm speaking. Am I speaking in an accent? I don't think so. Okay, very good question. Sarah Bhatti is asking, are the classes free of charge? Sarah Bhatti, no, the classes are not free of charge. Okay, Aun Abbas has asked, for writing, what will we use, pen or lead pencil? Only lead pencil, Aun Abbas, only lead pencil. No pens are allowed. No pens are allowed. Okay, those guys who asked me very long questions at the beginning, you can ask me some questions if you want. I'm here for next 8 minutes. Abrar Hussain, okay, I will try to give you more time. Wait, hold on, the questions are popping up. Abrar Hussain is asking, do we have a clock in front of us, especially while speaking? Yes, you will, but if it's not there, you don't need to worry, because you don't need to stop. You need to speak at length and let the examiner stop you. Okay, Bilal Hamid, no, Bilal, I'm sorry, I can't share the presentation, and I go back and share. Someone asked me to share about the, yes, maybe this is what is about computer base. I'm sorry, we can't share. Mehreen Sadaf is asking, how is the pass percentage of students doing IELTS from IDP? Well, that's a statistical question. I'm sorry, I don't have any idea. Amna Idris is asking, do we have to write, this ends my report at the end of task 1 in academic task? Well, no need, okay, because you will write the last 1 or 2 lines as conclusion, okay? So where that those lines end, you don't forget to put a dot, and that will be called the end of the report. Okay, more questions. Suddenly there are more. I have to choose the one that Rao Abdul Wahab is asking. Sir, please inform me that from AUIs for which countries we are eligible to apply for our studies. All the countries. Wherever IELTS is acceptable, you can apply to those countries. Wherever they ask for IELTS exam. Okay, and the question Abdullah Ali Shami is asking, do we need to bring vaccination certificates on test day? Well, if it is on the AO premises, we do not force. But if the premises is a hotel, they have the regulation from the government, they may ask you. So you better have it. You better have it. Yes, you better have it. Why not? Okay, Ibrar Sheikh is asking, for computer-based test, can we write the answer on the paper and later transfer them onto the computer? That's up to you. You will be provided a paper and a pencil. But I mean, why will you will do that? Because I mean, you can make corrections till the last minute. You can make correction on the computer. So why you waste your time? First write on the computer. So I will not recommend that, but you will be allowed to do that. Okay, Muhammad Ishfaq is asking, sir, after how many days AO is arranging speaking after listening, reading? It can be a day before or it can be a day after. So you better check your email. Okay, they will tell you whether it's before or after. It can be after or before, just 1 or 2 days before or 1 or 2 days after, or maybe on the same day. Awais Sajjad is asking, 10 out of 10 band is possible. Well, I believe that the maximum band is 9. 9 out of 9. Well, yes, why not? It's possible. Sarah Betty is asking, is it, Sarah Betty, where are you? Yeah, is it necessary to write conclusion in report writing, even after giving overview in second paragraph? Well, you don't need to, because the whole report is actually a summary. You don't need to write as a conclusion. You have to write it all as a summary, sum up the whole information that you see in front of you. But when you do writing practice, of course, there are different tips and techniques for task 1. So please follow them, okay? Whoever is tutoring you for writing, you need someone. You need someone who knows better than you, who can guide you, who can find out mistakes and let you know. You cannot do it by yourself, I think. Sayyid Hassan Abbas. Sayyid Hassan Abbas, if you haven't received, when is your exam? If it's 2 days after, then please call your registration center or go there. Call them and ask them. They will tell you right at that time. Okay, Afnan is asking, do we have to read the whole passages in reading module? Well, I have mentioned it there that you need to underline. Let me bring that slide in front, that how you have to read. Here, you don't have to read each and every line. You have to do skim and scan. The areas that are underlined, these are the ones that you need to pay attention. Okay, good question. You don't have to read each and every word, each and every line. You need to just quickly look at that and underline those areas which catch your attention, which have some dates, some number, some address. Okay. Tehreem has asked a long question. Let me read that. Sir, I have asked the question twice, but you missed it somehow. Can you share a website or a source for mock test through which we can estimate the actual difficulty of actual test? As different sources that I have found on internet, I have so much variation regarding the difficulty level. Well, go to aeo.com.pk And in the IELTS section, you can find the link that take you to reading and listening only, because there is no website that can correct or check and return it back to you for free, your writing or your writing module. Okay, there are sites that, but I will definitely not recommend any other site because that is not professional. So our AEO, at AEO, go to AEO, and under the IELTS preparatory class section, you will find links that will take you to listening and reading material that you can do as a mock test. Okay, Tahreem, I hope I answered your question. Sayyid Nabil Hussain is asking, how many points are deducted for spelling mistakes in writing? Also for punctuation mistakes. Well, if there are only few, they can be ignored. Okay, they can be ignored. But if there are lots of, then the examiner will definitely penalize you for that. Okay, so make sure that, the question is that why you make spelling mistakes at this level. It's not tolerated. Okay, it can be ignored, but if there are too many, there will be penalty for that. Aisha is asking, will we be provided stationery at the test center? Yes, you will be provided stationery. You don't need to worry about that. You will be provided pencil, sharpener, erasers. Okay, headphones for the listening, high quality headphones, no speakers. Okay, satisfaction? Yes. All right. Any more questions? I can take one more question. At the beginning, there were longer questions. So I hope I answered most of the questions. Thank you very much. This is Nadeem Khan from AEO Islamabad on behalf of AEO Pakistan, and we tried our best to help you get a very good overview of IELTS and modules. We hope that those who did not have any preparation, that will prove to be a good start. What is needed? Okay, last question. Musa is asking, what is needed for computer-based test? Just bring your ID. That's it. Okay, bring your ID. You don't need to bring anything else. Thank you very much, guys. That was very nice talking to you. And if you still have any question, as I said, you can send it to ielts@aeo.com.pk and we will try to reply back with a good answer. Thank you very much. Take good care. All the best for your test. Allah Hafiz.